Hey, David, at this point in time, what can change the presidential race? So I'm going to answer this question without weighing in on whether the race is over because it doesn't. We've talked about the national polls look very good for Biden, but Biden is not doing quite as well in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania compared to where Hillary was at this point 4 years ago. Whatever each of us believes to be the situation right now, the question is what could dramatically change it? I think that at this point in time, we really are looking only at big issues, like a health issue for one of the candidates. If one of the candidates were to be truly very ill, where it would be unclear that they would make it to the inauguration, I do think that that would change how people decide to vote. Major credible crime allegation against one of the candidates. I don't mean Trump at rallies saying Biden and Obama spied on me and they should be indicted. That's not what I mean by a major credible. Trump hasn't even said what crime was committed, supposedly, when he says that. But like a real story that takes over about, wow, Trump or Biden accused of X, Y, or Z. Remember, many of the sexual assault allegations against against Trump were certainly crimes at the time. And you can talk about statute of limitations or whatever. Didn't make a difference in 2016. I don't believe the third debate, if it happens, will change anything. Again, unless there's a major failure by someone, a medical event during the debate, if Trump starts yelling the N-word during the debate, I do think it would have an impact. I know his core base might not care, but there are people who are just slightly over on the Trump side who, if Trump starts calling black people the N-word, for example, or Jews the K word or something, I think that would have an impact. Some people have written to me and said, David, don't you think Joe Biden being unwilling to say whether or not he will pack the court, don't you think that that's hurting him? I don't, and I'll tell you why. On balance, you might say, if a candidate clearly isn't answering a question directly, it hurts them. And so there may be some way in which some people aren't pleased that Joe Biden is not willing to say whether he will or won't pack the court. There's a different side to the strategy, which is by not saying it, he maintains it as a threat to Republicans, which may be useful. Whereas if Biden says, I won't do it, they're off the hook. And if Biden says, I will do it, then they just campaign against Biden because Biden says he will pack the court. Now, my belief is Biden will not pack the court. You can go back and see Biden's previous statements about packing the court. I don't think Biden has any intention of packing the court, much to the dismay of many people on the left. But it's not so clear to me that Biden not answering that question is really doing damage. I certainly don't think it's going to change the outcome of the election. So this close to the election, particularly with so many people having already voted, it's very difficult to change what the outcome is going to be. Now, the outcome ultimately may not reflect the will of the people because of foul play with absentee ballots, because of the use of lawyers and courts to try to stop the counting of said ballots, so on and so. But that's something that is not about events on the campaign trail. And if you take Alan Lichtman's approach to predicting elections, which is a qualitative approach, it's less about this happened in a debate. It's more circumstantial what's going on in the country. He would argue that the cake is already baked. He happens to think Biden will win. He may be right. He may be wrong. Biden may win the popular vote and yet not win electorally, in which case, did Alan Lichtman get it right or not? We could debate that. But the idea would be this late in the game, only a candidate becoming incapacitated would change the situation, because with a qualitative analysis, the circumstances in the country over the last 4 years are what they are, and that is what will determine the outcome. We will have to wait and see, and we won't have to wait that much longer. You may not have known this, but when you see me sitting here on the show, I am often wearing shirts by a company called Teddy Stratford. I asked them to be a sponsor because they are by far my favorite shirts that I own. With almost all other slim fit button-up shirts I've worn, you get this annoying stretched out gap in the chest where the buttons are, which does not look good. But what makes Teddy Stratford shirts unique is this patented zipper that's hidden underneath the buttons, which actually prevents the chest from looking weird and stretched out like that. It looks really good. And just all around, they cut the entire shirt in a specific way that makes your upper body look a lot better. It's just a much nicer and more stylish fit than you get from other shirts. And they hand make everything with 100% Egyptian cotton and flat felled seams, which means it's going to be a lot more durable than other shirts and last a lot longer, which I really love. Go check them out at davidpakman.com/Teddy. The link is down below and they'll give you 15% off your first order if you use the coupon code PAKMAN at checkout.